If you want an independent voice on most economic events, someone who looks at it differently from most others, then no one better than Jamal Mecklai, who's here with me right now. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Mecklai. Your first take on demonetization, since we haven't had anything from you till now.
Good morning. Well, I think conceptually it's a good thing, right? The way it has been handled is a terrible thing. And also, I think if you really look at it, there's a lot of hypocrisy. I mean, if the government was serious about addressing black money, and they appear to be, but the first step would clearly have been to say that as of tomorrow, the BJP at least is only going to take money by check. I mean, most of the black money is in politics. We know that, right? So it is ludicrous for them to have this whole runaround and to think that till, not just the BJP, all political parties, with perhaps the exception of AAP, but BJP is trying to claim the high moral ground. It is the government in power. That is the first thing they should do. Right. Then I will believe you. Otherwise, I don't believe it. Because basically, there are some good things. I repeat that. That's the first thing I said. Trying to get more and more people to use less and less cash. But I'm just saying, net, I mean, it's politics, And as it happens, it's been so badly bungled that I think it is going to work against the party. Growth, obviously, will be under pressure. Yesterday or Saturday, I went to Crawford Market at 12:30 in the afternoon. Right. Empty. I mean, Crawford Market, 12:30 in the afternoon is jammed, right? Nobody, because it's such a pain. And we are city dwellers, we're okay. I would assume in the villages it's really rough. So net, I would say 2-110.
Mr. Mecklai, I'll take two examples. One is my local corner shop, which has not taken any money from me since the 9th of November, and I'm on credit there. And I keep telling him, why don't you take a check or why don't you just take a card? So he says, no, I'm getting a card machine. What is your hurry? Now, I spoke to him that why don't you take cards? He said, I am getting it now, but my margin on low value products is 4%. My margin on high value products is 6%. The card guy is going to take 2%. What am I left with? I've taken a wrong decision. My family told me never to be a shopkeeper. I don't know why I became one. This was his reaction. Number one. Number two, my driver. His annual salary that he gets, including bonuses and all, comes out to about 3 odd lakh rupees. He doesn't file an ITR. He'll have to do that probably now because I've told him I'm going to transfer his money into his bank from now on. I'm not going to stand in a queue and take out cash for him. And he'll probably have to pay taxes right now, which pushes him down even further. He's not the richest person in India right now, but it actually pushes him down even further. So here is a merchant who says that I don't think I can continue being in this business, and here's my driver who will probably have to pay tax.
No, see, there is no question that a lot of, like I said, broadly it is a good thing to move away from cash. Cash is actually more expensive, right, to manage. But, I mean, this is India. It is so huge, so diverse. And again, you're talking about urban environments. I mean, we've all read so many articles. There's a very good article in today's paper by Ruchir Sharma about it, saying that, till your institutions are strong, there is no point trying something like this. And the amount of cash in the Indian economy is not materially more than in, let us say, Thailand, So I feel it was, again, let's face it, politics is the lifeblood of the current government. I mean, they do things, they claim they want to do them, but their heart is really in how do they get re-elected. And as long as that is the case, even the good things they do, carry this undercurrent. And ultimately we elected them. It's our responsibility.
The reason I was pointing out those examples are because the cash economy today sustains 80% of employment. If I look at the small businesses, merchants, traders, They account for 45% of GDP, which is both manufacturing and services included. They hire 46 crore people, and the number of POS machines out there is 12 lakh. So 1.2% of them actually have a card machine out there. So it's all right to say that, you should move to card, you should move to some method, but you really can't.
Well, as I said, the institutional framework is inadequate, right? So all of that needs to be built before you do things like this, I mean, I'm just saying that, you want to do a lot of good things, but I mean, ultimately, as I said, A, you need to look into yourself first, and B, you need to look at the framework and how are you going to implement. I mean, the government has lost credibility dramatically all over, And again, I keep coming back, we're in the cities and it's tough, but I was reading an article about farmers who don't have money to buy seeds. They've plowed the field and they can't buy seeds now, because there is no cash. I mean, hopefully this cash thing will get resolved in another few days, fingers crossed. But I'm just saying it's a real bubble.
All right, in terms of, let's just look at the macro picture a little bit. In terms of the RBI, the talk about RBI, handing over a special dividend of 2 lakh crore to the government. How possible is it?
Well, I mean, I guess theoretically it is, right? I mean, ultimately their liabilities are extinguished. They can create, they've got assets on the other side. They can create fresh liabilities and give it to the government, which, again, is, if the money is used well. See, again, where is the money coming from? I mean, have you really addressed the real users of black money? If you take from the people who are breaking the law and give it to the government, and let us assume the government spends it very well in favor of the poor, it's a brilliant thing. But they are not taking the money from the people, certainly the largest generators of black money, which is the political parties. So, I mean, all of the rest of it is, you do that first, then talk. Tomorrow, I mean, all the parties have jointly agreed on one thing, that they will not come under the RTI. Do that first, right? Show that you really mean to clean up corruption in this country. Till, I mean, physician, heal thyself. I mean, give me a break. Otherwise, it's all hogwash. Okay. And tragically, a very painful hogwash.
Right. Suppose the government gets about 3 lakh odd crore, 2 lakh crores from RBI, which it puts into its budget as a receipt over 2017-18, and about 1.5 lakh crore, let's say it says there's going to be additional taxes we are going to get because of the money that's coming out from the system. 3.5 lakh crore, if it almost a large part of India will be banked by the end of this. So if that money is pushed out through DBT directly to the poor, what would you think? What impact does that have the economy? Would you see that as a good thing that the government is doing?
No question. I mean, obviously, like I said, if you're taking the money, illegal money, and pushing it into fruitful purpose, I don't know whether you could just give cash to every person using the systems. And again, let's give credit where it's due. There has been ongoing work in trying to get the systems in place. Right. I'm just saying that they needed perhaps to ensure that they were in place. It would be great. I mean, if there is more money in the hands of the people, growth will be better. There will be more investment as a result of that. One of the other things that's good is that, well, the other good thing about this, and like I said, you got to be as even-handed as you can be, is asset prices are going to come down, right? Real estate prices will come down. I think all asset prices will come down, which is good. Inflation will come down. These are all good macro things that can result from this. It's a matter of, again, how it's been done. and really ultimately what is going to be the impact on the poor man's sentiment. I mean, one of the things I could see, because this has been such an awful experience for a lot of people, that over time, even after the system settles, people will keep 1 month's expenses in 100 rupee notes at home, right? I don't want to be stuck like this again. I mean, people have had medical emergencies, all kinds of things, right? So once this happens, maybe that will happen. So that will again pull that much cash out of the system, right? So you really don't know how it's going to play out.
Okay, since I have you, I'm going to ask you a little bit about the rupee as well. Your friend Donald Trump is now the president of the United States, and it appears that he's going to do things, at least the bets right now are that he's going to do things which will strengthen the dollar. What impact are you looking at in terms of the rupee?
Well, I mean, the dollar's already shot up above 100 on the DXY. Rupee's come down below 68. Actually, it's a good level for the rupee in my view, you know. But RBI had been holding it too tight, so it's sort of chutoed like that, and everybody's, you know, in a mess. Where is it going to go from here? See, I don't think anything moves in one direction forever. Now, the dollar has come a ways. Even though I believe the dollar can strengthen further in the short term, I think it's going to stabilize or correct in the immediate term. I think Trump, again, in many ways, you know, just like Modi promised so many things and was unable to deliver, it's going to be the same story with Trump. There's no way he can deliver all the madness he has talked about. Again, to his credit, there are a couple of things that he's working on, but he doesn't seem to understand the medium-term consequences. You know, you can pump up the volume with government spending, but there is such a thing called government debt and government deficit, you know. Right. So today market is riding it this way, but once the focus comes onto the debt, of course he has to come into power, outline his plan, etc., etc., you will, I think, see all of this being reversed. I think the one thing is clear that, you know, I've been saying for a long time, as you know, that global equities are much too high, right? But everybody's been saying that, and so the market's not turning. Perhaps what we will see now is a last burst rally, a Trump rally, before things collapse. I think it's going to be a difficult time.
So globally, you think that this is a difficult time, and which has been kind of exacerbated in India with demonetization?
Well, but I do feel that the demonetization is a short-term thing. You know, when globally it's a difficult time, so it'll be difficult for India, except India still remains the strongest spot to go. I mean, now the US has more than taken over, but once, as I said, the focus comes on to the deficit and debt and the reality that you can't build, you know, you have to repay the debt, right? You can't just, I mean, today the US debt is, I think, about 105% of GDP. It's third. Of course, the big daddy is Japan at 220% of GDP. So you could say there's a lot of room over there. But I don't think there's quite that much room over there. And the kinds of things that Trump is talking about would people are talking about a 25-30% increase in the government debt, which is huge, right, over the next 4 or 5 years. But my personal belief is that Trump will, he's also going to fumble and fall, right? Again, I see a huge analogy between Trump and Modi. I mean, today Modi's popularity is way down from what it was, and long before this demonetization. Now, fortunately for him and the BJP, there's no opposition. So the next parliamentary election, they will probably still win the most seats, but it'll be nowhere near the kind of majority they have right now. Right. Now, Trump is in a different situation. When it turns out that he cannot start delivering what he wants, he's going to be jammed. And given his temperament, it's hard to see how he will react. I wrote an article some time ago saying either he will quit or be impeached, because he'll start trying to do things which are completely unacceptable. Right. And there's a lot of things he's already done which are pretty unacceptable, as we all know.
All right, Jamal Mecklai, thank you so much for taking our time for us. Pleasure talking to you, and we'll get you back when things settle down a little bit more and when we can get a sense of what is happening. Thanks so much.